Alright guys, this is sort of a two-pronged video. I've sort of been thinking about deleting multiple videos because they were quite negative simply because of the subject, but I've got some positive stuff to put in here, so that's why I'm doing it. So the little bit is a start, it's a bit of moaning, then I'll get back onto the positive stuff. First thing is the track and trace thing, the 8 and 10 days, day 2 and day 8 test. Complete and utter sham. It really is. The company is provided by GovUK website. Basically, I'm on day 9. Still haven't had the results from day 2. Put in my day 8. Doesn't go into the website properly anymore because they lost the day 2. I get the feeling they lost the data for people's records from when they registered, because you do it. They don't do it for you. All they do is they send these test kit boxes out, because then if you're the manager of this, you go, Joe Blogs just sent me £100, just send him 2 test kits. Then they come with these little barcodes. I won't show you mine because it's actually got my results attached to it, in the sense of that links to my results wherever they are. So you get the box, then day 2 you log in, you put your test information in, and then you stick it in the post. Should be a simple thing because you've done 90% of the work for them, but I think they've lost all the data. So those barcodes don't correlate to anything. That's my thoughts. I think they've lost the bits that we put in. They'd have to go back to credit card transactions, all that stuff, but that only says you ordered 2 kits. It doesn't say what the numbers are because you put them in. That's the bit I think they lost. But just a complete sham. But I had track and trace on the phone a minute ago and just said, look, done the test as per the requirements. The funny thing is, when you read it, it doesn't say you have to have the results. And my view is, I don't really care because I'm in quarantine anyway, and I explained that to him. So if I had to test on day 2, I'm stuck here till day 10. Unless I've got symptoms, I'm not too concerned, because in theory it should have expired. Otherwise that quarantine period's pointless. And it just sort of went over the top of the head. But waste of money, waste of time, but I'm going to put in for a full refund since they cocked it up so well. So on to the next thing. The house stuff is starting to move forward. Kitchen, I think, is going to escalate in value, but because April spends that much time in the kitchen, I don't mind spending extra money. One of the key things to that is the kitchen. The units for a kitchen are pretty much all the same. I think IKEA is a slightly different size to everywhere else, but generally the cabinets are the same. The expense is normally in the doors. I used to make kitchens a long time ago, and that was like the main difference, because a door could be £100 or £10, and you think, oh, there's a big difference. No, it's still the same cabinet. They've only changed the door on it. So the majority of the stuff's the same. So I think the kitchen's going to sort of double in budget, simply because we're looking at probably marble worktops. But we'll see, because April's still deciding on that one. Front door, we've got one we're getting fabricated. You can go to sort of Leroy Merlin and stuff and get one from like 400 to 600, possibly up to 1,200 euros. Front door we're having, I think, is 1,300. But it's a nice door. Like I said, this is our house. I don't mind spending money on it. The windows, the marble's the same, because you could have different insets. We're going for marble. So marble's going to probably cost me about 1,500 euros, including installation. The windows themselves, for 7 windows, if you look through the videos and gauge how big the windows are, that's cost me about 3,000 euros in total. So it's not excessive, it's just bits and pieces. But like I said, the kitchen's probably going to be the worktop's probably going to be at 1,500 to 3,000 euros just for the worktop. The kitchen's probably floating around 3,000 euros with the appliances. But where we've got some hidden costs is things like the extracts, because the bathroom upstairs hasn't got one. It's on the wrong side of the house, so I've got to work out how to get an extract to the chimney to take it out, because because it's on the inner. If it was on the outside, you know, in the sense of it's on the outside wall, straight through the wall, a little bit of pipe, cover on the outside, cover on the inside, with a little fan on this side, job done. But why would you want to make it easy? Same as the one downstairs, the one under the weird bathroom for trolls, I think. When I take where the toilet is, when I take that out, washing machine's going to sit in there, but as it's going to have some heat generation, I want some good ventilation for it as well, so we're having to put a vent in there. So that's another one we've got to bring across. Not as bad, because we've got to bring the kitchen one across, which is going to come across the living room ceiling. There's a secondary ceiling in there, so that's already carried across. But getting that one that's sort of under the stairs up to it is not so straightforward, but that's another work in progress. We'll have to work that out, because obviously the ceiling in that little bathroom is the stairs. It's a solid cast concrete form, so it's not as if there's a cavity in there, so it's rock solid. So got to work on that one. So you're sitting there going, still thinking about it. Got to get done. The other option is ventilate the doors, but that's then defeats the object, because the reason I'm putting the washing machine in there is when you're trying to watch TV at night, you don't hear whoa, 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 as the washing machine goes into a spin. So yeah, work in progress, that one. The fan costs, because I know some of you have been asking about costs and things. Fans have varied from about €400 to €200. The big ones, and the one in the sitting room, is about €200 fan. The kids' rooms, they were about, I think, €114 each. Because one of the things these are all silent motors. I've gone, because you can get AC or DC motors. And I think these are all DC rather than AC. Apologies, I've got a drink, I've got a dry throat. But you're paying extra for that. And if you don't know what the difference between AC and DC is, alternating current or direct current. AC is your sockets, that's AC. And when you've got a low charge, like say on your mobile phone, you know it's only about 5 volts, that'll be coming through and converted into DC through a transformer to reduce the voltage through your charger. That's why the chargers are often very bulky, because that's normally where the conversion happens. But you won't get any noise off the fans, the lower energy usage allegedly, but that's what we got. Lights. Personally, I know a few people have said about Screwfix.eu, which is a Screwfix, because we have in the UK Screwfix Co UK. If you can get it from Screwfix, go ahead, because they will be cheaper. There's a lot of stuff like all your caulking and all your tidying up stuff for around worktops and ceilings and your tapes and tools. Screwfix will win on that pretty much every time. But problem I had is there was Screwfix.eu, but with the COVID situation, they don't seem to be running, because that's where I advised Igor to go as well when he was getting power tools, because I've always used Screwfix in the UK. I mean, I used to get, you know, when I used to do security alarm installations or carpentry work, I could order in bulk. And I remember before it was Screwfix, it was another company, but we knew we'd get a delivery before 10 o'clock in the morning. So the point is, we could do a prep work and we know that the materials will turn up before 10, so when you start doing the installation, it's already in hand. Also meant that you could get the owner of the property to pay for the materials, so that your risk is only on the labour costs. So that's one of the things I used to do. I think the other one was gardener security. But anyway, so that's all going in. It's all going fairly well. It's slowed down because there's a 7-week period for the windows. Doors been ordered, marble for the doors all been ordered. I'm waiting to see how that comes out now. I suppose the only other thing is the canopy, because we've got a big canopy going on the front. That was, I think that was about €165. There's different types of canopies, different frames, different sizes, different fabrics. Personally, I recommend, if you're gonna get a canopy, go and look at them, because we did. We went and checked them, had a feel, what's the fabric on it, what's the UV rating, how long's it going to last, don't want it burning holes in it within 6 months, all that sort of stuff. But that canopy should actually pretty much cover most of the to the side once it's installed, so it's quite good for when you're sitting down there at night just having a nice little dinner or whatever. Perfect. LED lighting, I suppose, is another one. LED lighting, that's another one I would try and get online if you can. I found them quite reasonable in price. We got them all from Leroy Merlin. There's no longer, they don't call it Aki anymore, they call it Leroy Merlin Depot or something. There's some other name, but it's now rebranded. Yeah, it was already Leroy Merlin Aki before anyway. But in there, there's a good selection of LED lights. So we've got a lot of perimeter lights that are LED and they just run on sensors, and we've moved a lot of the old electric lights, because the advantage with that is like we did the other day when we went out. We come back the following day and you could see the upstairs lights on the exterior are still on. With the LED ones you can forget about them. But somebody else mentioned as well, the metal ones rust like crazy. Better off getting the plastic ones. If you can get, I think they're IP65, if you can get the waterproof ones, even better, because if they're sealed, they'll be moisture sealed as well, which means that you won't get batteries leaking, because obviously even if it's plastic, if it's not sealed that well, you've still got a risk of corrosion. So depends how much you're worried about it. I mean, me, it's €20 light, breaks in 18 months, new one. I'm not too concerned about it because the battery life will probably be around 2 years anyway, so not too considered that as an issue. I don't consider that as an issue. But yeah, it's progressing. Obviously I'm back in the UK now, back at work. April's managing the house back in Spain. We've had a few people looking at the other apartment, the one under the apartment we live in. It's a 2-bed, so hopefully that'll get rented out soon. There seems to be a lot more interest and there's a lot more people around in La Mata lately. So things are obviously on the up, things are improving. I'm just hoping the COVID stuff calms down. That's what I say, I try not to grumble too much, because I've been quite lucky in the sense of hasn't affected me work-wise. Not really had any medical issues on that side, or known anybody directly on that side, so it's all been quite positive stuff. It's just the dithering. I hate dithering. I hate, oh, let's maybe do this, or let's maybe talk about in 2 weeks. It's like, just make a decision. And don't get me wrong, it's a lot of this stuff isn't easy to gauge, but the thing with making commitments is if you force yourself into a commitment, you have to make it work. If you keep dithering, nothing happens. But if you say, right, we're going to open the UK this date, bang, make it happen. Commit to it. That's it, commit to it. Not, oh well, the chief medical advisor now says something different. Don't care. Chief medical advisor, fix it. Stop moaning and tell me what the world is coming to an end. Give me some positive news. Tell me something that I need to know. Tell me something you can do. Anybody can moan. That's the problem with the world. Everyone criticises, but actually fixing it's the hard bit. But like I said, first part of that is making a decision and sticking with it. You're going to open the UK, open it. You're going to keep it locked down and mess around for another year, which may be on the cards with the current government. Why wouldn't you, when you're making so much money on PPE and other bits and pieces? If you can get the people to just sit there and take it. Do it as long as you can, wouldn't you? In my personal opinion. But let's hope everything starts opening up properly. Let's hope we can start seeing more people on the beach and enjoying life, and a return to normality. That'd be nice. Be good. Good for everybody. Thanks for watching.